Today we're on the campus of Fresno City College, and today we get to go into the old administration building. We'll get to see what they've done in the renovations and enjoy some of the events they have today. Thank you. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So,
okay, I am so glad that you're here. Let me see. Okay. The last one here. Okay, go on in. What's the last museum you've been to? Can anyone tell me a museum they went to?
Arte Americas,
When was that?
just like yesterday.
Any of the museums that you've gone to? Close Museum. Okay, Fresno, we have a few museums here. This is the only museum dedicated to a living writer, me. I'm a Fresno boy, and the only other museum dedicated to a living writer is in Turkey, and I can't think of it. The museum is really dedicated to the children of this valley. When it's still reading as a pastime. Nevertheless, some factual information here, born in 1952, kids will be asked to do a math problem. If I was born in 52 and it's 2011, how old do you think Mr. Soto is? Of course, they can just do something very general, saying things like, old? That doesn't do. It has to be a little more specific than that. And then you'll see that I graduated from Roosevelt High School here in 1970, and then they can also do a little bit of math from 70 to how long I've been writing. I have an MFA, that's as far as I've gotten, Master of Fine Arts. This is like factual information on the first Mexican American to receive such a degree in the country ever, 1976. And then this is more of a poetic version of what I'm about. I lived a Fresno childhood, bored some days and other days feeling so alive. I'd walk miles of Fresno streets in every kind of weather, from icy rain to the blazing sun when the temperature read 106 on the guaranteed saving sun. Is it still there? Okay. I know Fresno so well, or at least its older parts, that I've carved by sitting at home in the stores that make up most of my books. Okay, now I'm going to end right there. This is more of a poetic version, and all of this has sort of our factual versions. When we were born, when we graduated high school, marriage status, and so on. Those are all factual. But then when you put a poetic spin to it, then our lives become more complicated. They become more beautiful, and also sometimes tragic as well. Now, I say here that I lived a Fresno childhood, and I put Fresno on the literary map. I have to tell you that there's a teacher from Rhode Island. She wrote about 4 years ago, and she said, she read all my books, a lot of them said in Fresno, that she's, Mr. Soto, I want to come and spend a summer in Fresno. Maybe we should think about this, okay? We were thinking that it was such a clever and beautiful place to live, and I go, oh my God, please don't do that. I have a mistrust of a writer who does not place region at the core of his or her work. Generally it becomes inauthentic. My area is Fresno. In fact, here on the board here, this is the childhood that neighborhood is blurred, and it wasn't because of heavy drinking when I took this photo. No, it's just a little artistic piece here. You can tell from the it's sort of an industrial area. This is the Bay Basin, or part of it. This is me down here. So you can tell that I am not living in the posher parts of Fresno, but rather South Fresno near a sign that says, welcome to Fresno. There's a sign on Van Ness Avenue at Railroad Junction. And so that I want to give a sense, in most cases, that you can actually come from a neighborhood that's not necessarily polished and with green lawns and all that, but rather even something like this. And you can actually look like this boy here. And don't sit this way, please. Now, I have 4 photos over here on the wall. People who are meaningful, I'm going to ask a large question. First, obviously, it's my wife for many, many years, my boyfriend, girlfriend, looking, youthful with black hair. My hair now is in rapid retreat, and one way, it's a Fresno tan. I don't know what really dark here. Our daughter, Mariko. Very good friends, both writers, Christopher Buckley, John Weinberg. We're in London. And then Jessica de la Cruz, a member of the United Farm Workers, a very important person to me. And she's still with us, elderly. Yeah. On the wall here, we have 3 poems, and I'm not going to read all of them, but the one here is called Oranges, which is the most anthologized poem in contemporary history. It's a good poem. I don't think it's a great poem, but it's most certainly recognized. Every junior high, plenty of high schools get this poem. It's probably, I would say, maybe 10 million copies of this poem have been reproduced in textbooks over the years. That's a lot of copies. And it's just a very sweet poem about going out with a girl. And I've read it to so many students over the years that I'm actually tired of it until I get the check for it. We're going to go down this way. Now, these stores are filled with memorabilia. Memorabilia, there's different ways to look at memorabilia. So something that really has great significance. Every one of us has a garage filled with stuff. And but not all of it is memorable. We're seeing those, why am I keeping that pot? You don't know. But anyhow, this is baptismal gown. Sometimes our baptismal gowns or our ceremonial gowns may be important to us. Some might have thought this was my Chippendale outfit, but no, it's not. This is my baptismal gown. Pinto beans, rocks. How are these? My report card, not too good. And Gary says, my teacher says, Gary had lots of problems. We have to work on this. His behavior is turning around. And I think that, I don't know too many writers who actually behave themselves. I don't, in fact, I can't think of one. All of us, including Mr. Sproin, he had a rambunctious life and also adulthood as well. Now, this is second floor. This is called Starting Off. As a poet, this is her poem here, published in the Campus magazine, 1972, when I decided, yes, I want to do this thing called writing. Same year, or it is 71. Yeah, 71. If I'm going to become a writer, I had to have a little bit of money, but you can see line number 23, I only had $1 in my guarantee savings bank book. Not a good sign. And a dollar, it only had $1 because if I had less than that, they would have closed the account.